everybody, Carla with Karla's Clever Crafts. Tonight we're going to be working on a wreath design with this cute little bunny. He's beige and white, holding a carrot, got an orange flower in his head, and then he's got little hints of pink in his ears and his nose and his mouth. This was originally a yard stake, and I just popped the back off of the yard stake, the stick, and I'm going to use this cute little guy. I really liked him for a wreath design. I like the expression on his face that he looks happy and cute, or she, since the flower in her hair. So to get started with, well, first let me try to see if I can get my comments to load. Let's see how well my computer does this evening. Finally able to get back to some Easter and spring designs, and I'm planning some new ones. I've got some ideas coming that involve bumblebees and ladybugs. I'm pretty excited about those. I'm thinking we're also maybe going to do some swags as opposed to wreaths, and then work on maybe even decorating an Easter tree. And hopefully I'm going to get soon to doing a spring garland. So those are ideas I have floating around and I'm planning. Okay, I think we're almost there. Okay, so while that thinks, I'll go ahead and start. We're going to start with this 14-inch wire frame from the Dollar Tree. This one is silver. I know you're used to seeing me work with the black ones, but they do offer them at various times throughout the year, and also silver and gold. So when I seen silver in the store the other day, I picked a couple of them up. The one we're actually going to be working on, which I've already started pre-preparing for us, is black tonight. But this is for a future project, and I figured I would use it to show you how I wire the frame for this design we're doing tonight. We need 12 pipe cleaners on the outside 2 rings and 6 on the inside 2 rings. There are 4 rings total all the way around. And on this frame, there's 6 sections, and each section is considered between the crossbars as one section. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I wire each section at a time, and I start on these inside 2 wires. Come right between the middle, as close as you can, between the 2 crossbars. Line up your pipe cleaner, pull it tight, and twist your knot. Try to twist your knot over side of the inside wire because it creates additional stability when you add your materials. Then for our second one, we're going to come to the outside 2 wires, and we're going to center it between this pipe cleaner and this crossbar. So just same process, slide it under, pull it up till you get it fairly even. Make sure you're centered as best you can. Twist your knot over the inside wire that you're working on, the inside of the 2 wires you're working on. So your knot is right here. Come to the opposite side and do the same thing. Okay. And just like that, you'll go around all 6 sections, adding 3 pipe cleaners using the same method to each section, and that'll give you your 12 on the outside and your 6 on the inside. Okay. So now that I have covered that, I have already wired ours, and I have started laying in the mesh and the ribbons to get us started. But the first thing I'll do is explain to you what I've already done as we're going. First thing I always do is lay in my mesh first. Of course, I leave a section open when I'm doing a video so that I can demonstrate how I do that. Okay, I'm going to move my ribbons out of the way here. So we're going to be using the cruffle method, and I'm working with this orange value mesh and a beige value mesh. Both of these came from bbcrafts.com. And somebody did send me a message, and I checked into this, that papermart.com also carries these products, and their price is a little bit lower than bbcrafts.com, but for me, BB Crafts still came out to be the better deal because I order in bulk and I purchase so much I qualify for free shipping from them when I order. So that free shipping makes this the better deal for me with BB Crafts. But if you're just ordering 1 or 2 rolls, paper mark may actually be your better option. Okay. So we're going to roll out. Each of our meshes are 10 inches wide. Oh, I'm making a mess. Okay. 10 inches wide, and I've cut each piece 16 to 17 inches long. We're going to do a cruffle, so we're just going to fold this first end over. We're going to use our pinkies to hold the edges down and roll it 2, 3, 4 times. Put our clip on it to hold our curl together, and then turn the clip away from us and repeat the same process on the other end. 2, 3, 4. Turn your both curls face down, and then you're just going to ruffle it right up the middle. So just scrunch little sections at a time, pulling it towards yourself or pulling them together. Pinch it together and take off your clip. It should look like that. And then when I did the wrong color, you guys. Forgot to mention, we're alternating these colors between orange and beige, all the way around the base, our first layer of mesh. So actually, we did orange last. We need a beige next. Luckily, I had 2 clips here, so I'll just put that one to the side in a clip. I'm going to do it one more time so that you can see here. Curled under, 2, 3, 4. 4. Turn your curls face down, and then scrunch small sections at a time up the middle to create a ruffle effect. Look just like that. And then when we place it on the base, this bottom first layer of mesh, the first thing we're putting on our wreath, we're going to put the finished edge to the outside and the inside. So we're going to lay it straight down in the pipe cleaner. Pull very tight on this layer of mesh because you want it to be very secure and you do not want it to move around on you, and just give it a couple twists, and that's it. Now you just leave that there until you're ready for it again, and come to your next pipe cleaner and open it up. Then you would make your orange cruffle, and you do the same thing. Finished edge to the inside and the outside. Place it straight down in your pipe cleaner. Pull very tight and give it a couple twists. And then, of course, adjust your little pieces of mesh so that they lay consistently all the way around. Okay, and then we have 2 oranges here. We got 1 pipe cleaner left, so we need 1 more beige. We're going to lift this piece to the right up when we place this one in, and just put it over top of the piece that we're placing in currently. Pull it real tight again, a couple twists, and then we need to do the same thing with the bottom down here. We need to make the layering consistent. So we need the piece to the right of our last piece we put in. We just need to pull that out so it's laying over top. That way your pattern is consistent all the way around. Okay, and then the next thing I did is put in my ribbons. We're using 4 different ribbons tonight. They're all going to be cut to 12-inch pieces, and they're all going to stay 12-inch pieces. I'm not going to be doing 6-inch pieces like you've seen me do probably previously if you've seen my other videos. Okay, so I first have this very cute bunny face that kind of matches our sign, and it's on a beige background. It has the pink ears, the pink nose, and cheeks, kind of like our sign does. So that matches really well. And then I also am using this beige bunny tail in a truck. I thought the colors and the carrots and stuff went really well also with the sign. And then we're using this orange carrot, well, it's a white background with orange carrots on it. We're going to be using that one. And then I have this orange and white check that we're going to use. Now all of the ribbons are 2.5 inches except this one. It's a 1.5 inch. If you have 2.5 inch on hand though, you could certainly use that. There's no, I prefer to match my patterns and my colors over worrying more about the width of my ribbons. Ideally, I like to pair 2 of the 2.5 inch with 2 of the 1.5 inch, but as you can see here, I have 3 in 1, and that's because this was what I had on hand, and I cared more about matching up my ribbons and my color scheme and my sign. Okay, so what I have done here is I'm only placing tonight 1 ribbon in each section, 1 12-inch piece. And I'm just alternating all 4 ribbons that I'm using. So I have the bunny rabbit, the orange and white plaid, the truck, the carrot, and then back to the bunny, plaid, truck. So then we're back to the carrot, okay? And I did that without putting in any filler for a reason. A couple of these ribbons, I think these 2, if memory serves me right, I only have a limited amount. I had just a limited amount left and wanted to use them up. And so this was a way that I could do a full wreath and use up the ribbon that I had left. So if I had done, you know, say the bunny rabbit in every other one, I didn't have enough ribbon to do that. So by doing all 4 ribbons rotating, I was able to extend these 2 and use up just the few pieces I had left to finish off this wreath. And it's still going to be really nice and full and beautiful. It'll still be 24 inches wide, 5 to 6 inches deep. It's still, as you can see, with the ribbon tails I've already laid in, still has lots of pretty ribbon tails coming out that'll come out on the sides. So the design will still work nicely. Okay, so we were doing the carrot. Let me move these others out of my way. Okay, so we just lay, now this carrot, let me talk about this real quick. This carrot ribbon, you can see it's kind of satiny. It's very thin. I got this at the Dollar Tree. This is the last I have of this ribbon, and I'm really elated about that. I do not recommend buying this type of ribbon from the Dollar Tree. It's very hard to work with. Their canvas type ribbons are okay, but these are just, they're real hard to work with. So if you wanted to try this project, I would recommend maybe going to craftoutlet.com and looking to see what ribbon they have that's available with the carrot pattern, because this Dollar Tree stuff doesn't work as well. Okay, so we're just going to lay it out in front of us. We're going to scrunch right down the middle, pinch it together, and V it back towards ourselves. We're making a V and lining up these 2 ends back here. And this is what it'll look like in your hand. And then we're just going to place it in our next pipe cleaner. And like I said, we're stretching our ribbon tonight to make it go further. So we're only putting 1 ribbon in each section. We're not cutting them in half, we're leaving them 12-inch pieces. So we're just gonna cut that off and push it down in and give it a squeeze. And then fluff out your ribbon. And this is the part I don't like about this Dollar Tree satiny, silky type ribbon, is it just, you never can get it to lay the way that you truly want it to. Some of their other ribbons are great, you know, some of the canvas ribbon, but in reality, I think that overall you get a better purchase price if you purchase from Craft Outlet, because on Dollar Tree rolls you only get 9 feet for $1.25. And on Craft Outlet, you can get a 10-yard roll, which would be 30 feet for like $5. So I think some of their ribbons are even less than that. Okay, so we did the carrot. Next is the bunny. We're going to repeat the same process, alternating all 4 ribbons all the way around our base, which is what I did on the other side before I went live. So I went around all the way, laid in all my mesh. Then I went around and laid in all my ribbons. And remember at this point that you're only working on the outside 12 pipe cleaners. We have not started adding anything to those 6 pipe cleaners on the inside, so I've just left them pushed out of the way. Now this bunny ribbon, I don't think I mentioned, it came from Craft Outlet. And this orange check also came from Craft Outlet. And then this blue bunny on the beige background, I think I got that from Amazon last year. And Amazon is hit and miss with ribbon quality. Sometimes I get it and I'm elated. Sometimes I get it and the print is awful, smudged, smeary, not very good. Sometimes it'll also be like a real thin. I got one time that was like a t-shirt material, real thin, worn out t-shirt. So after our bunny, we have the orange. Well, I'll show you here. After the bunny, we have the orange. So you're just doing the same thing. Pinch down the middle, beat it back towards yourself. Look like that. And then just place it in. Clip off the edge. Okay, and then we're just going to fluff out our tail. When I fluff out my tail, I kind of arch. I push underneath the ribbon here and arch it up here close to the pipe cleaner. And then I just kind of curl the end out here under a little bit just to give it like a nice arch. Okay, so after the orange, we have the truck. Now, I really love this bunny ribbon, and so I will probably order some more of that for some future projects. It's really cute. I love the snow or the like cotton edges. It's a really cute ribbon and very good quality. Okay, and then I have one more pipe cleaner here that I accidentally cut off earlier when I was getting ready for the video. So after the truck we're back to the carrot. So this pipe cleaner is already short. I won't have to cut that one off since I made a boo-boo earlier. This is our last piece of ribbon on the bottom layer. So now we've laid in 12 pieces of mesh and 12-inch ribbons. Ribbons are dovetailed on both ends. And we've only worked on the 12 pipe cleaners on the outside ring. Real quick, I'll show you how to dovetail in case somebody new is watching and I hasn't seen that before. You just fold your ribbon in half long ways. Line up your ends to match. Whoops. Take your scissors and cut at an upward angle from the folded edge to the wired edge. And that's how you get this really nice V. Gives you a nice polished finish look to your ribbons. Okay. So at this point we've got all of our bottom layer of mesh and ribbon done. We're ready to start working on these inside 6 pipe cleaners. To do that, we're just going to reach into the middle of the mesh here and pull them out to the outside. Excuse me, I feel like I'm losing my voice. Okay. Our temperatures here where we live have been kind of crazy. We went from freezing to 76 degrees day before yesterday, so I think it's really having an impact on me and my allergies. Now we have all 6 of them pulled to the outside, and we do that so that we can continue building our wreath up around the outside. We're going to put our sign in the middle. So first thing we need to do is we need to put in 6 pieces of mesh. We're going to continue rotating the orange and the beige around the top again, like we did on the bottom. Still doing cruffles. The mesh is still cut to the same length, 16 to 17 inches long. Hey Laura, how are you? Okay. Kind of scrunch it. Okay, now on this layer, I'm going to turn my mesh and put my finished edges to the right and to the left. So all the way around, it'll look like we're laying little bows in our design. That also is a good way to ensure that we're filling up any gaps or anywhere that you can see down to the wire frame at this point, because that's normal at this stage that you can still see some of that wire frame, but we're going to fix that. Okay, so we did orange. Next is beige. So total number of pieces of mesh for this is you need 9 pieces cut of the beige and 9 pieces cut of the orange for a total of 18. Okay, so now we're back to orange. When I lay these pieces of mesh in, I make sure I don't, with the first layer of mesh, we pull that really tight so it's secure to the frame. The top layer of mesh, don't pull it as tight because you don't want to sink this mesh clear down into the base of your frame. The idea is that we're building the design up, and then I just adjust them when I lay them in here to make sure I kind of line up the edges of them next to each other and make sure it looks the way that I want it to. Kind of just like that. Looks like little bows next to each other with the mesh. So next we're back to beige. Don't leave 2 clips, just one. Okay. And then orange. And fraying is normal for this mesh. I don't know if you're able to tell it on the video, but I have like little pieces of orange and bay fray pieces, I'm not sure what to call them, that falls off of the mesh. But that's why I do the cruffle method, because you curl those cut edges under and that protects it when you complete your design. There's protection of those edges. Because where you cut it is where you're going to get all of your fraying. Remember not to pull too tight there. Adjust it. And now we have one more. Okay, and now that we've got our last piece of mesh on for our second layer, I'll show you, you can see it's starting to get nice and full and thick. Now we're going to come in and do a second layer of ribbons. We're using the same ribbons, the same 4, and this time we're going to put 2 in each pipe cleaner on this top layer. And I'm going to match up, probably put the carrot behind the truck and the orange behind the bunny. So that's probably how I'm going to do it. So to do this top layer, I kind of crisscross my ribbons, 12 inches long for these 2. I crisscross them in an X pattern. And then I just scrunch up the middle here and pinch the two sides together. And then I can just, it looks kind of like an X. And then I can just place that straight in to my pipe cleaner. Give it a couple good twists, 3 or 4. Snip off the extra because I'm not adding anything. Okay, and then I'm just going to give these a little pull to straighten them out. And then fluff them out the same way I did those ones on the bottom. So I'm happy with the way that they are laying and the way they look. Okay, and now I'm just going to come on around and do the next one, which will be the carrot and the truck. This one here looks shorter to me for some reason, but I guess it's not. Oh, they're all about the same. My eyes are playing tricks on me apparently. Okay, so we're going to scrunch up the middle, pinch the two sides together, lay it in the pipe cleaner. Twist 3 or 4 times. We don't want our ribbons falling out. Snip it off. Don't forget to push those ends down in and just squeeze the pipe cleaner tight to hold your ribbons securely. I'll show you what I mean by this Dollar Tree ribbon as soon as I do this, because it's really bothers me on this top layer. Bottom is not so bad. I don't know if you'll even be able to tell in the video, but you can kind of see how thin it is, and it's hard. I mean, I've got it laying pretty good there, but it's really hard to get it to lay the way that you want it to. Okay, so now we're back to, we're going to rotate these 2 patterns all the way around these 6 pipe cleaners. So we're going to do the bunny again with the orange check. Place it straight down in the pipe cleaner. And our truck in the next one. Oops, not that one. Next we need the bunny and the check. Always when you're rotating your patterns like this, kind of look back each time to see what you've done. I can't tell you how many times I've put 2 of the same side by side and get almost done and then have to go back and undo them and redo them all. So try to keep an eye looking back each time so that doesn't happen to you. And as many times as I've done it, you think I would have learned by now, but I still make the mistake occasionally. But fortunately, not anything that you can do to one of these wreaths that can't be undone or fixed. So that's the good thing. it's trying to curl up on itself. Okay. Here you can kind of see better. See how this is that carrot ribbon, and see how the ends are trying to just curl together on themselves. It doesn't really want to stay fanned out like this. It tries to just curl in, and it's up here's another example of it on this side. Very hard to get it to do what you want it to do. It's very pretty pattern though. I love that's what drew me to it. I love the carrot pattern. It's got like little pink flowers with green leaves in the background, and orange and green polka dots. So it's beautiful. I just wish they had put it on a different material. We're almost done with this one. We're going to get ready to add our sign. Okay. So in our sign, it already has a hole at the top, and since it was on a yardstick, I have no idea why, but that hole is already there for us. So I'm just going to come down here to the bottom, straight down somewhere in the middle, and make another hole. To do that, I'm going to use my metal hole punch that I ordered from Amazon. I do prefer this heavy duty all metal one. They have others on there that have plastic and rubber, and I have not had any luck with those. So I ordered the all metal, and I've had no problem since. It's very sturdy. And it gives you just a very tiny hole. It's metal, it's for metal, so you can use it on metal signs, but it also works really good on this MDF wood. So it's perfect for that. And then we need 2 pieces of wire, about 14 inches long. One for the top of our sign, one for the bottom. I've seen some people only attach the top, but I actually started out doing my wreaths that way, but I found a couple issues with that. One, your sign, if you only attach the top, it moves around, and it will mess up your ribbons and your mesh. It can tear it up. Another thing is that when I was storing them, they would get messed up, you know, and then mashed and all kinds of things because of all the movement, even when I would have them hanging up. The other thing is if you only attach one place, it will pull down and slide around and move, and then it's not centered where you want it to stay. And another thing that can happen is if you only attach one and you go all the way down to the wire frame, you end up with a bunny tilting like this, because this part is going to be pulled towards that frame, and this is not going to be attached to anything. So I found, and I do all mine this way now, is it's just better to go ahead and attach top and bottom, keep bunny really good and secure, or whatever you're attaching, and then also keep him laying level within the wreath. Okay, so real quick, to attach our sign, we have our holes, we have our wire. This is floral wire, I just forgot to mention, 26 gauge from the Dollar Tree. You get 100 feet per roll. I'm not sure about your all's area, but a couple days ago I went looking for floral wire. I went to, I think it was 5 stores. 4 of them were out completely, and the last one only had blue and purple left. So that's why I'm using blue. I would normally not do that on this sign. I would normally use the gold or a silver, but I wasn't able to get those. So hopefully you guys won't have that issue with your Dollar Tree. Blabbing about the wire, and I think I forgot to tell you guys what I was doing. So when you feed it down through the hole, I turn my sign face down, And that is because I want to be able to come back here and line up the two ends of my wire evenly as possible. But also, and most importantly, when I make my knot in my metal wire, I want to twist it over top of this hole and knot it over top of that hole. It gives your sign more stability doing it that way. So just pull it tight, because you want this knot to be tight. You don't want it sliding around the wire, sliding around on your sign. And just twist it, keeping that knot over top of the hole. Okay. Do that both top and bottom, and then you're ready to place your sign. Okay, so we're going to, I think I'm going to go this way with it. So then I'm just going to feed the wire down through all the mesh and ribbons until I get to the wire frame on the bottom. I'm going to wrap these two wires around the inside two rings. Okay. And then once I get them around those two rings, before I start twisting or tying, I'm just going to make sure that my bunny sign is kind of in the middle where I want it. And then I am able to start twisting it. Now when you do this, when you start knotting or twisting your wire around itself to hold it on there, don't pull down too tight or your bunny will sink to the back of your design and you will lose your bunny in all that mesh. You want your bunny to kind of be floating on top, or whatever kind of sign you're attaching. You want it kind of sitting on top, not lost in the base or back of your wreath. My computer completely froze up. Okay, and then after I twist the wires about 10 times, I cut off the excess, and then I just wrap what's left on there around this inside wire or ring on the frame until I get these two sharp ends pushed up inside. And the reason that I do that is so that somebody doesn't get poked or stabbed or, you know, their wall or door damaged. That leaves a smooth edge there. Repeat the same exact process on the top. And guess what? You have fully created a beautiful Easter spring wreath. This design easily could take you all the way through spring. It's not Easter specific. So that's one good thing about it. It's perfect for Easter and can last clear through spring. And if you guys like my videos and the content that I have been making, please be sure to follow me if you're watching on Facebook and share my post and like it. If you're watching on YouTube and you want to see more videos like this, be sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you hit the bell, it will give you notifications when I upload a new video. And if you're not sure if you want to see more, just go ahead and hit the like button, because that will help me out also, and I greatly appreciate all of your support. See, there's our finished wreath. I just think that bunny face is just so happy and so cute. And it says welcome on the carrot, so like I said, would definitely last you clear through spring. So let me know what you guys think of this in the comments, or if you have any questions or feedback, leave those in the comments, Facebook or YouTube. I check both. I try to do it every day and get back to you. I definitely will not go more than 2 days without responding to you. So thank you guys again, and have a wonderful evening.